Hi Capricorn, welcome to your romantic love reading for the month of February 2019. This channel is called The Witching Hour. My name is Michelle and I'm a witch. Thanks for all your love and support. I typically get a lot of views from Capricorn and I really appreciate it. This reading is for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus. Please check out my playlist for other signs in your chart if you want to check them out as well as they are uploaded. I wish to evoke the elements of earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and greet the guardians of the north, east, south, and west. I pray for clear guidance and perception of this reading for myself and for all of those viewing, the highest good of all. Pray for the love and protection and guidance of spirit, the divine, all our spiritual allies, guardians, spirit guides, and loved ones on either side. All are welcome to this reading for the highest good of all. So this is a romantic love reading for Capricorn singles. But if you are already coupled, please take the information that is channeled and apply it to your relationship as well. You'll feel what resonates for you and what doesn't. So you're most welcome to watch this, but I'm going to read it primarily for singles as far as the way that I'm going to talk about it as I see the cards, but you can most definitely apply it to your relationship if you're coupled already. I'm using the Connolly Tarot. It's created by Eileen Connolly and illustrated by her son Peter Paul Connolly. And I'm also going to use one clarifying card at the end as an overall message from Spirit, using Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards, and those are created by Barbara Michael John Free and Flavia K. Peters. They are illustrated gorgeously by Richard Crooks. These cards are ready to go. This is going to be about your future lover, future romantic interest, your next significant romantic love relationship, Capricorn. These cards are ready to go. So the person you're going to meet is very self-reliant. We have the Seven of Wands. So this person, excuse me, I forgot to turn off the heat. This person maybe has been through a lot and is ready to stand up for themselves, or they have very good boundaries. They might just be establishing boundaries right now. And I do feel like mentioning right now that the underlying energy of this reading is the Queen of Pentacles. So could be another earth sign that you're involved with, or you're coming into your own energy, Capricorn, if you're female, or meeting a female. But the energy coming in, what this person is like, is a person who's developing boundaries. The Seven of Wands. How you meet, ooh, interesting. You may already know them. We have the Lover's card. You may be making a choice between one and the other. It might be like an online dating thing. Matchmaker, friend type thing who introduces you, but I do feel a choice is involved here. A choice is involved. That's how you meet them. A dance, I'm getting someone meeting somebody at a dance. Your first impression of this person is that they're dead sexy with the Ace of Wands, but they're dynamic as well. So it could be a fire sign. How you meet could be through a Gemini. It could also be through a Gemini. They could be a Gemini, or they could be a fire sign, or a fellow earth sign if they're female. The overall effect this person has on you is that of the Hierophant, which is, let me see here. This could be, oh, you could be meeting them at a wedding. They could be a very, very spiritual person. They could be someone who might be a little bit on the self-righteous side, especially with the Seven of Wands here. Like, your first impression of them might be, okay, they're sexy, and then their personality is more like, they seem a bit holier than thou, so it might be off-putting to you. But remember, this is a new major connection. This is your next major romantic relationship. So these are the energies coming in for February, and could be beginning now, of course, at the end of January, as this is being uploaded. But I feel like you might meet this person at church or at a wedding. Could be for some of you, not all of you. For some of you, it's like a matchmaker thing. Your first impression is they're very dynamic, they're very sexy or sensual, they're fiery, their disposition might be fiery, they could be hot-tempered, not in an abusive way, but because if they've got their guard up from past relationships or circumstances, you might find them to be, oh, are they on the defensive side? And they might have learned some life lessons that put them like on the moral high ground, and it might feel at first off-putting for you. But the overall nature of this relationship is the Sun. That is the nature of this relationship. So it's good. It's healing. It's enlightening. It's learning. These are all good cards. So whatever your first impressions are, could be that this person is very spiritual. The Hierophant and the Ace of Wands are also very, very spiritual cards. The Sun and the Lovers both mean the same thing. The Lovers and the Sun means like, typically this is depicted with two people in it. And this could be a very healthy, wholesome, healing relationship after this person has gone through a bit of the mill. They might have gone through a very hard time. And so they might feel guarded, but they do seem very altruistic to me. They do seem very altruistic to me, and they're going to seem very spiritual to you. But I keep getting the word self-righteous. So for some of you, that might be your first impression, but it might not last. But let's see what the cards have to say about it. You get, for the challenge area, I call it the crucible because I associate so many things with the cauldron. Not just because I'm a witch, but because of the archetype of it me being our subconscious mind. That's how it was channeled to me anyways. And the crucible is when, you know, like when God lights a fire under your ass or under your life circumstances and things burn up to the surface, in the sense of that saying from, what's it called? A Course in Miracles that says love brings up anything unlike itself to be healed. That saying. I don't typically use that saying, but it jumped into my mind because I hear another reader on YouTube say it all the time. And so it pops up in my mind, and that's a cue to say that in the crucible of a relationship, which is what I call it, it's where your challenges are met, or it can make you, it can change you. It brings up the stuff that needs to be healed, okay? And what needs to be healed, anyway, sorry for the long dissertation, but it's to explain that we have a good positive card here, the Six of Pentacles, and it represents fairness and equality. So there may be issues surrounding fairness and equality, or things that make you feel that way, that are maybe misperceived. It might be that this person could have a chip on their shoulder, and it makes you feel, like I said, it's a little off-putting, and it makes you feel on the defensive. And you both need to be fair to each other when you allow for each other's grievances. How much am I giving to you? How much am I receiving from you? This is also share and share alike are the words that I'm getting. It's like share everything. It might be a sense of needing to share, because when we have our boundaries crossed and we're building new boundaries, we can feel very vulnerable about sharing ourselves with another. And it makes us feel too vulnerable. And this is where it might come up in the relationship, to bring up those things that can make you love each other better. They're challenges at first, but once they're resolved, because every challenge contains the solution of it within itself, then it helps you resolve how to share, how to, how to be vulnerable with each other, to develop trust, essentially, to cultivate trust that they're always going to be there for you. And that's typically what that would mean: fairness, equality, sharing. It would mean that you're going to be there for each other, and that's where the relationship will be tested. But I don't think it's because of any character issues, like they're not trustworthy. I think it's more that it triggers those things within us, triggers those things within you, Capricorn, or you trigger it in them, about sharing and trust. Are we equal? That type of thing. I feel vulnerable. I need to protect myself. No, that's right when you need to share how you feel. Sharing resources too is what I'm getting. Share and share alike. I heard, again, sharing resources, giving up control, equality, that type of thing. The result will be the Two of Swords, I'm sorry. Two of Swords, choosing when a conflict comes up, making more instinctive choices, not getting in your head too much about things, not using so much logic, but maybe not overanalyzing, but applying logic is what I should have said. Not overanalyzing, but applying common sense. Common sense. And applying common sense by first using your instinct. Sometimes it feels like the lesser of two evils is what it can feel like. But the overall, like I said, there's a choice to be made here. You're going to have to choose. So going back to that, to those of you who it applies, there's a choice involved here. Choosing between one person and another. A choice between a spouse and a lover. A choice between a dating or making a commitment. That type of thing is involved here. It rests on choosing. It rests on choices for some of you. And the overall outcome, being the Two of Swords, is about the choices we make within the relationship. The nature of it, remember, is good. And we make it good by our choices and fairness and equality and not having this blown out of proportion sense of authority, external authority. It's more about cultivating your own boundaries and being your own authority, allowing them to be their own authority, not letting it become a power struggle. The overall effect on you is the Hermit. It makes you individualize even more. It really offers you a lot of wisdom. It helps you not to rely on another so much. It helps you not to rely on the institution of marriage or being a couple so much. It helps you realize that you're going to be more of an individual and relying upon your own wisdom. And the overall thing that you're going to learn is about, Page of Cups, is about love and intuition, applying this intuition. Some of you are going to make this choice. You're going to choose love. You're going to choose love over what makes sense, is what I'm getting from this. And that's a nice feeling. This is like a Valentine's Day card. It's new love. It's young love. It's fresh. It's innocent. It's pure. It's sweet. It's intuitive. There's potential in it. Yes, it has some kind of life springing back into it. This young love, this new love. You're applying a lot of wisdom to it. It's going to be all about your choices that you make. You're going to be much more conscious about the choices that you make. Sometimes you're going to have to ignore your first impulse, is what I'm getting from this. You might need to ignore your first impulse because those are conditioned responses. And you're going to have to stop and go within yourself and draw upon your own sage wisdom and be your own authority and choose to be with the person who's good for you and not who you feel the most chemistry with. And then you're going to end up learning that chemistry is something that's cultivated. Does that always happen, everybody? No, but at some point, it's something you do have to choose no matter what the relationship is like. You have to choose to cultivate chemistry and let it happen naturally. Interesting. So for Witch's Wisdom, the underlying energy is that of winter, Guardian of the North, Watchtower of the North. I always call this card Winterfell. So it can also represent the dark night of the soul, which I think is interesting because you have winter here and the nature of the relationship is the sun. So I think you're going to get a good balance, but I think some of you might feel that your equilibrium is being thrown off, and that's why it's a choice that you have to make, and you have to really apply your wisdom to it, and not wisdom as opposed to analysis and logic, okay? Common sense and wisdom, your intuition and trust, equality, fair judgment. You might need to get counseling to help decide, like the help of a priest or a pastor, to help you understand and put things in a third person perspective, so for objectivity. And the card that I selected is Union. It's handfasting. So the Hierophant is the marriage card, the priest, and you've got the Lovers, and you've got the Sun, and you've got the Page of Cups, and you've got the Choice. Wow. Wow. And this person could also be a Virgo, Capricorn. They could be a Virgo. Oh my goodness. Well, well, well. So some of you might be reconciling with an ex or someone you used to be married to, or you could have been separated for a while and getting remarried. For some of you. That's not for everybody. You've gone within like the Hermit, the overall effect, and gone within, and that's what this represents, this watchtower. But overall, oh, somebody is really connecting and making a bond and reuniting or getting married or getting engaged. This is like marriage material or engagement material. It's very spiritual. Yeah, the thing I get the most is that it's very spiritual. With the Hierophant and the Hermit and the Page of Cups and the Ace of Wands and the Sun, those are all like very spiritual cards, you know? And I'm getting this is it's so much about a choice. It's so much about a choice. Like God is giving you the opportunity of a lifetime here and making this wonderful choice and giving you the fact that for some of you, or maybe even just one of you, for some of you that you get to make the choice at all is like a huge blessing, because maybe some of you have been thrown into relationships before or felt compulsively driven into a relationship, and this time you're making a more clear-headed decision, and it's like you allowed your heart to lead the way and make the choice for you, like you chose from love as opposed to what made sense, being overly logical, and it's more like the wisdom of your heart is what's speaking, and not this overreactive chemistry or overly emotional reaction, but really love. When you come down to it, you're knowing what your soul wants. It's like you found your soulmate, is what this is all pointing towards to me. It really is. And the fact that you get to make a conscious choice, there's something about that that's resonating very strongly to me. That some of you did not get to make a clear-headed decision from your heart. It's almost like you felt driven and compelled to be with this person or another person in the past. And it was like, oh, I wish I had not thought about it more, but sat with it longer and followed my heart more, because I probably wouldn't have been with that person. I would have gone with this person, or My life would have been different if I had chosen differently before. I wish I had chosen this person before, and instead we got married because of such and such circumstance, and it put all this pressure on the relationship, and now I'm choosing to be with them. You know, it could be the same person. It's all of that. I'm feeling so much of that. So however it applies to you, and like I said, there's a lot of new energy here, and I do feel like a lot of reconciliation in this card, in this reading, this spread. Like a renewal. Interesting, like your new love might be your old love coming back around. And I don't see those type cards. Yet I feel this is someone, for some of you, that you've been connected to before. Like very intimately, and you feel them again. But I see a lot in this flame. It's like this is the nature of the relationship, and there's the flame. It's like you carry a torch for them, you know, and like the Ace of Wands is usually depicted with a flame too. So it could be that you're holding a torch. It's an old flame. I don't feel that it's so much twin flame in the sense of being karmic, but more of a soulmate, like your heart is on fire, you know, that type of thing, and illuminated. So it all feels really, really good. And it could be a Virgo, because there's the Queen of Pentacles, female earth sign. Or that could be the underlying reason or heart of the matter. So that's what I'm getting for you, Capricorn. It all feels very good. It all feels like, so somebody's engaged, somebody's getting married, or you're finding someone who is marriage material with the hand fasting, the lovers, the Hierophant, the soulmates, the twin flame type of, you know, I'm carrying a torch for them, the intuitive love. So there's a lot of love and romance. I don't see anything negative. I want to clarify that Two of Swords for the result card. Two of Swords. I want to see what that is really talking about. I'm clarifying this one. This is because it's in the result position, the outcome. I want to clarify the outcome. I think this is just what I'm feeling as I'm shuffling, is that your mind is more clear. You're aware that you're making choices. It's not like, it's like this compulsion is gone. And I feel it as a good thing. Okay, and what popped out is the Ten of Pentacles. So there is history here, or this is long term. It's like you're taking the time to choose. That's the outcome. And the outcome is that you will have history together, or that you do have history already, past history. That there's a legacy here. It's an investment. You're choosing wisely. You're choosing wisely what would have the most long-term benefits for you of happiness, not what makes sense. So you're choosing happiness, to me, happiness and love over what makes sense. You're choosing what would make you the happiest. Yeah, and that to me is what it's saying, and there's not much more coming out for clarification of that card of Two of Swords. It's the Ten of Pentacles. So it is long-term, or you have a long-term history with someone who's coming back. And fairness, balance, better boundaries, clearer decisions is what it's saying to me. So sorry that went a little long, but I needed to clarify that. It was bugging me. So hopefully that helped. I hope you liked your reading. If it resonated, leave a comment. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Click the bell for notifications of new videos. If you want to contact me for a private reading or to donate, the links are in the drop-down box below. Until we meet again, Capricorn, from my soul to yours, much, much love, brightest blessings. Have a happy February. Take care. Bye-bye.